Well, I'm newer to the sport. So I boxed out of Roseville, California, Jose Morales Boxing Academy, and I got into the sport. I had my first fight about 2 years ago, and so when I went into the national tournament, I had 5 fights going into the tournament. So I've never done a tournament before. I've never done 3-minute rounds before. My coach was like, "Hey, let's get you in there." He just wanted to throw me in there. He knew I was ready. He was like, "You can win." My coach has like always believed in me, and you have to believe in yourself. But I didn't believe in myself until like that last like two weeks going in. And then when I got there, I went in there with 5 fights, and I knew I was going to be, not ranked, not known. I was going to be against girls that have been doing this since they've been very young. So I worked my butt off in every category I can, my conditioning and just training, like taking everything at home so serious. And I've just been working my butt off grinding for 2.5 years. And so I went there with a lot of confidence because I went in there knowing that I was going to be the best version of myself. And I had done everything possible to do that. I would say after that first fight, I was locked in and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to win this thing after that first fight.
You also won the most outstanding fighter of the tournament.
Experience was very overwhelming. When I went there, I shut off all social media, do not disturb on my phone, and I was just very locked in mentally to be there, no distractions. It was just such an amazing feeling. My coach even, he's like, when we meditate every night, like what's gonna happen play by play, like what's gonna go on, and I'm just like, man, that's really happened. He's like, you're gonna get emotional, I'm gonna get emotional. So yeah, it was amazing. And then when I found out the most outstanding boxer, I was just truly, really, really honored because I mean, for me to even go to nationals and win one fight would have been amazing for me to do. She tells me, no, she doesn't yell at me. She tells me, she encourages me. She goes, okay, we're having problems here. This is what you got to do. You can do it. And we have a plan and we go. Try to execute it.
At what moment did you know, okay, I want to do this? Because it's like boxing, not like this thing people just decide to do.
I would say, so about 4.5 years ago, I was living in Alaska and I was in a really abusive relationship. The most unimaginable things happened to me. And so when I moved back to California, I was living with my best friend's parents and I moved back to Roseville. And he was going to a gym, Jose Morales Boxing Academy. And I was going through, I was going through, if you talk about darkest moments, that like I was in that, I was truly broken. Like I didn't even know who I was anymore. And so he's like, hey, like I had my dog. That's really all I had. And he's like, you should try this gym. And I went in there and it just, boxing, it's a good outlet. And the coach, he had a competition team and he had a couple girls that were getting ready to spar. And he needed girls. I mean, it's really hard to find sparring. He's like, hey, why don't you train with them? I was like, I don't want to fight. And he goes, no, you just train with them. I was like, okay. So I started sparring and it just became, it became a necessity for me. It was my escape from what I was running from, my reality, all my trauma, all my hurt. And it was the one place in the world where I was able to just escape for however long I was at. If I'm at the gym for 2 hours, I felt normal. I was able to escape. And then I'd go back at home and, I deal with it. But then it just became an obsession of mine because like this was a necessity to live because I was so broken and I had no reason to want to live like for what I went through. And so I just didn't wake up and decide to do the hardest sport in the world. And also as boxing, it helped me get confidence in myself because you have to face yourself. You have to go through so many challenges, not just physically, more so on the mental. And I needed that. And I don't think that I've gone through trauma therapy for the things I went through. And I don't think I would have ever been able to tolerate that treatment if I hadn't gone through what I did, which you have to learn to be a boxer. Mm-hmm. And every time I stepped into that ring, I felt like I was fighting back a part of myself, as a woman. And then I just got to the point where I was just so locked in and to the person I was becoming and the growth that I'd made. And then I told my coach, I was like, I want to fight. And then once I started fighting, I just started seeing that even more. And every time I fought, it was like getting a piece of my life back. And so when I fight, when I'm in there, it's all my heart because I put my heart, my whole, my soul, like everything into this,
Boxing has saved a lot of lives
It really
through the
has.
years. Absolutely, yeah. It's given a lot of people second chances.
Damn,
It's gotten
it
people out of poverty. You
I
know.
know.
Even though it's such a brutal sport, it really does bring a lot of good to people. You know.
It
it really does.